Hello students, in this video we're going to continue to review claim evidence and reasoning, but we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to be given experiments and we're going to be given different statements, and it will be our job to determine if it is a representation of a claim, of a piece of evidence, or of a reasoning. So in the first experiment, the question is, does the color of a shirt affect the amount of heat it absorbs? And if we observe carefully, we'll notice there's a diagram and it has both a white and a black shirt. Now we're given three different statements, and it is our job to determine which one is a claim, which one is a piece of evidence, and which one is a reasoning. So the first statement reads, a darker shirt absorbs more heat than a light colored shirt. The second statement states, when a white shirt and a dark shirt were put in the sunshine with a thermometer underneath them, the darker shirt hit a temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit, while the light shirt only recorded a temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And the third statement reads, a black object absorbs all wavelengths of light and converts them into heat, so the object gets warm. A white object reflects all wavelengths of light, so the light is not converted into heat, and the temperature of the object does not increase noticeably. Now at this point, you can go back and reread the statements. But what I want you to do is I want you to pause, and I want you independently to determine which one is the claim, which one is the evidence, and which one is the reasoning. Once you've done that, you can play the video again so we can go over it together. All right, welcome back from our warm-up, and let's check our work and see how on track we are. All right, so the first statement is a claim. All right, it is stating that the darker shirt absorbs more heat than the light color shirt. All right, that is a claim. While the second statement is providing evidence. All right, so that is evidence, the second statement. What evidence is it providing? Well, it's giving you temperature readings. It's telling you that the darker shirt hit a temperature of 140 degrees Fahrenheit, while the light shirt only recorded the temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's backing up your claim that darker shirts absorb more heat than light color shirts, right? Because the numbers are proving that. The dark shirt absorbed a lot of heat and its temperature went up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and then the light color shirt showed a lower temperature of 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the third statement is actually a perfect example of reasoning. It is explaining how the color of the shirts affected how much heat is absorbed. And it discusses wavelengths, right? It's saying that a black object absorbs all wavelengths. And so you're going to have more of that light converted into heat. And the opposite is true for white shirts. They actually reflect all wavelengths. So the light is not converted into heat, or not as much light is converted into heat. And that's why the temperature reading is lower. So this is a perfect example right here of claim, evidence, and reasoning. And now that we've done that together, I want you to try to do one on your own. So we're going to do a little throwback to our algal bloom, and we're going to look at an experiment that explores the amount of nutrients versus the algal growth in a body of water. So our experiment is guided by the following question. Does the amount of fertilizer added to a body of water affect algae growth? So we have beaker A, right? And in beaker A, there was no fertilizer added. While in beaker B, we added some fertilizer and we let it sit for 2 days And this visual you have in front of you is the result post the 2 days. So you have 3 statements. I want you to read them carefully. I encourage you to annotate them and determine which one represents a claim, which one represents evidence, and which one represents reasoning. Once you're done, you can hit play so we can review the answers to this activity. Good luck, guys. Welcome back. Let's go over our examples together. All right. So the first statement reads, the beaker of water with fertilizer had more algae, even creating a green tint in the water. The beaker without fertilizer had very little algae present. Now, these are some qualitative observations, qualitative data, and so this counts as evidence. The first statement is an example of evidence. Now, the second statement reads, the beaker with fertilizer will grow more algae. This is a strong statement right here, and we call this a claim. And the third statement reads, fertilizer is a form of nutrients for algae. The beaker of water and algae with fertilizer saw greater growth of algae because it had more nutrients available to feed the algae and help them reproduce. On the other hand, the beaker with algae and no fertilizer saw very little growth because it didn't supply the algae with the nutrients it needed to grow. The third statement is a perfect example of your reasoning, right? Explaining how the fertilizer affected the algae and caused more of it to grow. So I hope that this practice helped you understand claim, evidence, and reasoning a little bit better. But again, the more practice you get, the better you're going to be at this. So we're going to watch a video clip, and we're going to use this video clip to make a claim, support it with evidence, and give a reasoning.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. He speaks a weird language. He drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing, he has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
All right, guys, so I've guided you to this point. You've seen the clip. Now I want you to practice making a claim, supporting it with evidence from the video clip, and giving a reasoning. Good luck and make me proud.